Mohandas Gandhi by T. Gandhi. Childhood of Gandhi. Born on October 2, 1869 in Pabanda, India. Born into the upper class in India, due to father being the chief minister of Pabanda. Gandhi received high-quality education. He married 14-year-old Kasturba Mukherjee when he was 13. Adulthood. Went to London for a couple of years to study law. He struggled to find work in India, so he went to South Africa to work for an Indian company. He encountered racism for the first time, and decided to protest against it. He finally got the South African government to abolish its Indian taxes after 21 years of being there. Adulthood continued. He went back to India in 1914. During World War I he was on England's side, but that didn't last very long. In 1919 England made several bills that prevented Indian civil rights, which made Gandhi mad. Scattered violence was happening, and the government fought back, causing Gandhi to never support the British again. His protests in South Africa. Gandhi's first protest was in South Africa, fighting for Indians' racial equality. He organized the National Indian Congress (NIC) to help him fight for racial equality for Indian immigrants. His last protest, in South Africa, was in 1913, where he gathered the Indian mine workers and they protested against the government taxes on Indians in the country. His first protests in India. In the early 1920s Gandhi tried to protest against unfair tax laws, but it ended in mass arrests and violence. Gandhi wanted the INC to help him protest against the unfair salt taxes, and he ended up leading what is known as the Salt March. The Salt March ended in thousands of arrests and angered the British even more. The Salt March. Gandhi leads 79 people on a 241-mile march to the ocean to protest against British salt taxes. Gandhi planned on boiling the salt water from the ocean to get his own free salt. In the end, he got himself and 16,000 others arrested due to him inspiring others to try and make their own salt, or to rebel. Gandhi's last protests. After he was released from jail in 1934 he retired for a while, but he went back to protesting in the early 1940s. He started working with the INC on the Quit India movement. The Quit India movement was protesting that in order for the Indian community to support the British in the war, they would have to grant India freedom. The British were not happy with this, so they arrested Gandhi and other INC leaders. Gandhi was assassinated in 1948 by a Hindu extremist. Why did Gandhi rebel? He rebelled so that Indians could be free from British rule, and to grant Indians racial equality in South Africa. How did Gandhi rebel? He organized nonviolent protests to stand up for Indian rights and for racial equality. World impact. Gandhi inspired many people to nonviolently protest against things they think are unfair. Examples of people he inspired. Martin Luther King Jr. to stand up and protest for racial equality in the United States. Nelson Mandela to protest against the apartheid government in South Africa.